Ep.5. Story The Ghost of the Little Girl in the White Dress in the Dark Hallway. Hannah bowed her head, feeling a heavy weight pressing down. She thought about what Mr. Danes had just told her, and couldn't deny that her curiosity was growing stronger. She felt an intense urge to uncover all these dark secrets, even if it meant facing the most terrifying things. Mr. Danes took a deep breath, his gaze distant, as if looking into the past. Hannah listened intently, a mix of anticipation and fear brewing inside her. Ms. Osborne, there's another story, equally terrifying. It's about a woman named Leah who lived here about 10 years ago. Leah was a passionate young teacher who loved children and had a sensitive soul. She bought this house because it was cheap and wanted a quiet place to rest after stressful hours of teaching. Mr. Danes paused, his expression darkening as he recalled what had happened. At first, everything was normal. Leah redecorated the house, turning it into a warm and colorful space. But soon after, she began experiencing strange occurrences. At night, she heard the giggles of children, but when she went outside to check, there was no one there. She felt light footsteps running through the hallway, but when she opened the door, the hallway was empty. His voice lowered, emphasizing every horrifying detail. One night, while sleeping, Leah was awakened by a whisper right beside her ear. It was the voice of a child, crying for help. Leah jolted up, looked around the room, but saw nothing. She went out to the hallway and suddenly saw a small figure standing at the top of the stairs. It was a little girl, around 8 years old, wearing a torn white dress, with messy hair covering her face. Leah called out to her, but she just stood still, silent. Leah approached, but just as she was a few steps away, the girl suddenly turned around. Her eyes were empty, pitch black, and soulless. She opened her mouth and a chilling smile appeared on her face. Leah felt a cold shiver run down her spine, and she stepped back, terrified. The girl vanished abruptly, as if she had never been there. Hannah held her breath, feeling the fear in every word of Mr. Danes' story. He continued. In the days that followed, Leah kept encountering similar events. That girl appeared more frequently, watching and haunting her at every moment. Leah started losing sleep, and her mind became frantic. She felt like she was constantly being watched, always sensing someone staring at her from the shadows. One night, Leah decided to uncover the truth about the girl. She searched through old records of the house and discovered a horrifying secret. That girl had once lived here with her family, but she had been brutally murdered by her own father during a fit of madness. He killed the entire family before taking his own life. Leah realized that the girl's soul was still trapped in the house, unable to move on. She decided to perform a ritual to help the poor soul pass on. But the night before the ritual, Leah was attacked. She found herself being dragged out of bed, beaten by an invisible force. She heard the maniacal laughter and the sorrowful cries of the little girl. The next morning, Leah was found in a state of shock, her body badly injured. She was taken to a mental hospital, and no one ever heard from her again. Mr. Danes looked straight into Hannah's eyes, as if trying to gauge whether she had the courage to face what was awaiting her. Ms. Osborne, I've told you 3 terrifying stories about this house. But I must warn you, what you are about to face might be far worse than what I've shared. If you decide to stay here, prepare yourself for the worst. Hannah swallowed hard, but her gaze remained determined. I've made my decision, Mr. Danes. No matter what happens, I will face it. I believe the truth will help me overcome any fear. I believe this house holds valuable material for me to create a groundbreaking article and elevate my name. Mr. Danes looked at her for a long moment, as if evaluating her resolve. Finally, He nodded slightly. "All right, Ms. Osborne. If that's your decision, I won't stop you. But remember my words. Be careful and always stay calm. This house is not easy to explore, and what you will face might surpass your wildest imagination." Hannah nodded, knowing she was ready for this dangerous journey. Her heart raced, not from fear, but from the excitement of an ambitious journalist standing before the biggest story of her career. She knew she wouldn't back down, even if she had to confront the most horrifying things. Hannah bid Mr. Danes farewell with a grateful look. She returned to her new home, feeling a mix of excitement and anxiety. After arranging and unpacking her belongings, she began exploring every corner of the house, feeling the ancient and eerie atmosphere. The old walls and creaking wooden doors echoed under her steps. The old paintings on the walls seemed to follow her, and the antique chandeliers cast strange shadows on the ceiling. Hannah sensed an invisible presence, a chilling air creeping through every corner. On her first night in the new house, Hannah tried to relax on the old bed, but she couldn't shake the strange feeling clinging to her. The darkness enveloped the house, and it was swallowed by an unsettling silence. The wind howled through the window cracks like mysterious whispers from a distant past. She lay in bed, trying to fall asleep, but her mind remained alert, sensing an invisible presence around her. Suddenly, strange sounds began to emerge, like the earth was shaking with dance steps. Rhythmic footsteps, giggling, distant singing, all blending together into a horrifying symphony. A cold sensation ran down her spine, and Hannah sat up, her eyes wide open in the dark. She listened again but couldn't tell where the sound was coming from. She cautiously approached the window, her legs trembling on the cold floor. When she pulled the old curtain aside, a terrifying scene unfolded before her. Outside in the yard, a group of men, women and children dressed in white were dancing in the dim light of torches. Their eyes were empty, as if controlled by an unseen force. Their mouths chanted strange, eerie words, as if reciting incantations from a dark ritual. Their singing was steady and haunting, like music from the underworld. Hannah's eyes couldn't tear away from the scene. Fear surged, making the hairs on her neck stand on end. Her legs wanted to run, but she felt frozen in place. The dancers continued, their singing growing louder and closer. Suddenly, their eyes turned toward her, as if peering straight into her soul, pulling her into the vortex of terror. Everything went black, and Hannah woke up, cold sweat dripping down her skin. She looked around the room, realizing it was just a dream. But the images lingered, too real to feel like just a nightmare. Her heart pounded in her chest, and she quickly grabbed her notebook, scribbling down everything she had just experienced. The pen trembled in her hand, and each word appeared on the page, as if trying to capture every fragment of that terrifying memory.